again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games from the Game Pass collection. Bring you three unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am the operator, giving you your direct call to the sea. Andrew, with me, the one who doesn't accept the charges. Keith.
Hello.
And the one who ends up butt dialing the sea, Liz.
Hey guys.
And this week was a listener pick from our good friend Curtis, who recommended that we try out Call of the Sea by Out of the Blue Studios. So Call of the Sea is a first-person puzzle game where you play Dora, where you are trying to uncover the mystery of your mysterious illness that has run through your family and to find what happened to your husband who has left to go possibly find a cure for your illness.
Did you say Dora or Nora?
I thought he said Dora too.
This isn't Dora the
right,
Explorer.
Nora. I kept doing
I was
that every
waiting
time
for
I
him to
played
say it
this game.
again to see if I heard him wrong.
know
Dora,
her
Dora,
name is
Dora, the
Nora.
Explorer.
But every time I kept seeing Nora, I kept thinking Dora. But yes, sorry, your character's name is Nora. Nora the Explorer. But, going around, Liz, why don't you start us off? Was this a game or a pass for you?
I found the story really interesting. I mean, you guys know me. If it's a puzzle game, I'm definitely using a walkthrough at some point. I suck at them. But this one I thought was really compelling, and so I'm definitely going to give it a game.
Yeah, I'll jump in, I guess, next. I'm kind of torn, I guess, in a weird way, because there's nothing about this game that I was, like, thrilled about. Nothing really stuck out as, like, wow, this is incredible. However, it was fun. It was short. It didn't take up too much time, so I think it's worth a playthrough, if nothing else. So I guess it's a game.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, Keith. Yeah, because of that, I also will give it a game. It's, for me, that like I agree with Liz. I think the story was actually really cool. Like, I feel like puzzle games to me are really kind of difficult because they're either too hard or too easy, story's not interesting, or story's kind of compelling, but the work ends up being too much that I don't care for the story. I feel like Call of the Sea had like such a nice sweet spot that for me it's a game. So, as I said, the story, you are playing Nora, not Dora, and your husband left to go, he found some clues of this mysterious island out in the Pacific, and so he ends up hiring a crew of 6 people to go to this island and try to hopefully uncover the mystery behind your disease that's been plaguing your family for generations. You kind of get these weird dark spots on your hands, so you end up covering them because you're ashamed of them. But as soon as Nora goes to this island, she starts to discover, hey, I feel a lot better, like weird things are going on. And for me, that story to me was very simple, but I really was intrigued. As you're going around, you're of course collecting just a lot of collectibles, notes, journal entries, and you're slowly discovering as to what happened to your husband's crew. And that whole story I found really compelling. Even though you don't really get to meet any of these characters, I thought they did a great job writing the characters of the crew.
I think they wanted you to be sad. And for me, because there's a character in particular that I won't say who it is because I don't want to ruin it. But you find out that this person befriends Harry and he kind of has
Harry's your husband.
What?
Harry's your husband, just to clarify.
Oh, yes. And this person has a really tough go. And then you find out that they die. And then they just throw in, like, at the gravesite that this person also had a kid. And it's like, really? You had to throw in that they had a kid when you find out that they die? So for me, it was just like, rubbing salt in the wounds. Unnecessary.
See, I'm in a weird spot in this because overall I think the story was pretty well, but I didn't find any of the characters all that interesting. It's all very minimal, and I kind of lost track of who was who as I would go through. Like every so often I'd be like, oh, wait, is that the husband? No, that's that guy, or that's that person. And I kind of didn't keep track well of it. I am kind of curious though on your point, Liz, about you finding out that there was a child. Is it possible that there was like maybe like a story pickup thing along the way that might have explained that? Because I didn't get all of them. I got most of them, but there was definitely some that I missed.
I don't think so. I got almost every. I don't know.
Yeah, you said at the gravesite is when it told you that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was
just
just a
didn't.
photo, and I don't think they go into it because I remember I looked at a walkthrough quite a bit because I noticed in a walkthrough that there was stuff that wasn't at eye level that I wasn't looking at, and so for that particular chapter, I think I watched like almost the whole walkthrough because I noticed I had missed a lot of stuff, and I don't think it came up. But I mean that's to Keith's point. You're finding a lot of photographs and letters, and that's how you're keeping up with the people with the crew. But you don't actually really get to meet them. There are kind of these like scenes when you're reading some letters, but they're few and far between. So yeah, you don't actually get to really meet these other characters, which I kind of think sucks. I mean, you're learning about them, and to get that like, you know, that feeling that you're supposed to get when you find out that they die. I mean, I wish that I had actually seen them.
Yeah. Luckily, I feel like at least did a good job having you feel for these characters because there's actually quite a bit of voice acting. All these like not all the collectibles, but a good amount of the collectibles that you're finding, like particularly like the pictures or the journal entries from your husband, they're narrated. So it is kind of like a cutscene. So you're not just reading through, 50,000 text. You're not practically reading a book with this game. It actually does give you voiceover and explaining as to what's going on.
Which I'm not sure if there's something you can do in the options, but I thought it was interesting. There's a lot of cursive, and I know like in the U.S. they're not teaching cursive anymore in a lot of schools. And luckily, like I mean, I'm in my early 30s, so I know cursive. But do you guys know if you can? Because a lot of this stuff isn't said out loud. Like you do read it. Not everything is voiced over.
I didn't look for anything, so I don't know if it is. I also found like in the books themselves, like or in your journal. So, or going back, like I'll jump back a second. So all of the pickups that you get, if there's something that you have to read on there, I do like that it has a function for, I think it's like the X button and it's read, and it puts it in like block letters to the right of the
Yeah.
letter. So
Okay, I thought that was this game. I'm like, wait,
yeah,
am I thinking of a different
so
game? But okay.
so
Oh, so there is that option
Yes.
then.
it's not
Okay.
really an yeah, it's not an option, but it's when you have like the piece of whatever you're looking at or whatnot. Yeah, you can pop open like a little read function in it, and it gives you block lettering on the right side that you can read.
I had no idea.
But I don't think it gives you that option anywhere in the journal, which that I found annoying because you can't even really zoom in, so that if you can read the cursive, great, but it's just all so small that it was like very hard to read. And I was playing this on a 55-inch TV, so I feel like it shouldn't have been that hard to read, but it was kind of a struggle. But
I
otherwise,
did love the journal though.
yeah, it was
I thought
kind
it was really helpful.
well, I thought it was interesting, and I may be jumping slightly ahead, so I won't go too far into it. But I like that there was aspects of it that actually you needed for solving some of the puzzles, and not just the ways that it would, when you would jot down different clues that were in the specific notes section, but the journal itself, there was at least one puzzle that you had to pay attention to something in your journal in order to solve. So I thought that was kind of neat.
See, I personally had no issues reading in the journal or the pictures or anything like
Oh,
that.
I didn't either. I'm just
Okay.
saying, like, a lot of people out there, especially like the people in school now, a lot of them aren't being taught cursive in the United States. So
Yeah.
I
So
just thought it was
I mean,
interesting.
that's why for me, like when you first asked, I'm like, I thought you could make it block lettering. That's why I'm glad Keith confirmed it. Because I'm
Oh,
like, am
I
I thinking of
can't-
a different game?
I didn't realize that you hit a button and it would come up in block letters, but
Yeah. But the journal, I mean, it was a little bit small, but I play on a monitor. I don't know. I had no issues reading it.
Maybe
I
that's it. I was just too far away or something. I don't know. It wasn't awful. That was my only gripe.
I also thought it was really cool that at first I was like, oh, is there another like city named Newburyport? But then they also mentioned Boston because I was born in Newburyport, so I was like, oh, that's so cool. You never hear about it. And I just thought it was really cool. And then I was like, oh, what was it like in Newburyport? And like, wait, this took place in the 1930s. I think she like grew up there. So what it was like back then, I don't know. I'm kind of on a tangent, but yeah, I really like that.
A game set a town I know.
I
It's
recognize
the town
things.
that I grew up in. I think that's like, I don't know.
Isn't there probably like a
I'm just
Newburyport in
jealous.
England or something too? I mean, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
but
it
they
is.
also mentioned Boston though. So I mean,
No, I'm pretty sure they were talking about Newburyport, Massachusetts.
It
'cause
probably is.
was
I'm
a
not saying you're wrong.
huge port city.
Well, there was weird aspects. I thought it kind of jumped back and forth between. No, that was Colorado. Anywho. Yeah.
there's multiple places mentioned, but I just thought because Boston was also mentioned that maybe. But I think like the developers are in Switzerland or no Sweden.
Are they?
I don't know.
I thought they were. I thought they were London or like London based or
I
something.
thought it was Stockholm. I
'Cause-
guess I could be
Well,
wrong.
because I was curious.
Maybe look it up.
Because I did look it up at least briefly enough because I was like, oh, are they from Massachusetts? Because I remember what was that game we played? The one with the little plant animals.
Um, you're thinking of Drake's Hollow, and you're thinking of the studio Molasses Flood.
Yeah, so like where they had a lot of stuff within the game that alluded to Massachusetts. They were Molasses Flood. They had all that stuff. I kind of assumed Out of the Blue was gonna be from Massachusetts, but they were not.
I wanted to bring up something that Andrew mentioned earlier with the voice acting. I mean, we usually do this in the music section, but I want to bring it up now because I actually looked it up. I thought the voice acting was incredible.
Yeah.
And the woman who narrates for Nora, her name is Sissy Jones. She is in like so many video games.
Yeah.
Like it is incredible. And so like a lot of games that we played, I mean After Party, Star Wars Fallen Order, Remnant from the Ashes, Middle Earth Shadow War, Firewatch, which I don't think was on Game Pass.
It was on Game Pass, but that was one of the few games I had you played before.
Yeah, which I heard that's becoming a movie. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's true.
I believe so.
I've read Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty 4 are some other like big ones that she's done. But I was just like, holy crap. Because when I was listening to her, like there's sometimes when you're playing a video game and, you know, something happens and they're like, no. And I actually thought like she did like a believable reaction. And so that's why I looked her up. I was like, I really like this voice actor. Nerd alert.
You did your research.
And then another important thing with this game, there's no happy ending. You get two options at the end and they both suck.
Do we want to discuss the ending at the end of the episode?
I think yeah, let's do a little spoiler section at the end there instead of talking about it now, because I actually liked it, and I liked
did
the
too.
actions.
I did too.
You like unhappy endings?
No, you love everything to be in like a nice perfect bow.
Yeah. Yeah, I like happy ending. Everyone gets what they want. You know, I'm just saying that if you like happy endings and you play this game, you might be a little bummed out like I was.
I disagree.
Well, of course you guys, last episode too, you guys were like, no, Liz, you're wrong. And now this episode again.
I'm sorry, I have a different opinion. I'm not just a yes man over here.
Over here.
But anyway, I want to get into the meat of it. I really want to talk about the gameplay. So, as I said, this is a first-person puzzle game, and I feel like Call of Duty has such a sweet spot of it's not too difficult, but it's also not too easy. And I love a puzzle game that's like this. You're not playing something that's going to get so ridiculously hard like the Talos Principle, but a lot of these puzzles I thought were very creative. It's like I didn't feel like I was just doing the same generic puzzle over and over again. There's 6 levels, which are kind of like set pieces. They're very kind of small and compact. I love that all the puzzles were just condensed in each set piece. You're not getting, oh, here's a page I learned about something on the first chapter and I got to use in chapter 6. Nothing like that. It's very much you're just using what you have on the level that you're in.
But one thing that I heard you complain about when you were playing, and you don't really complain very much when you're playing a game, you
do enough
hate
for me.
it.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. Okay. It's going to be one of those days. So Andrew complained about how slow you go.
Yes.
Because at the beginning, she says, oh, I can actually walk a little bit faster because,
It's
she
still
has
so
this illness.
slow.
And then you're going faster. And it's like, wow, lady, you've been a cripple for a long time.
Useless.
Yes.
No, I mean it was a speed walk at best. It was
No, it was like power walk. Not even power walk. It's like a stride, like a slight stride.
She just took
My grandmother walked faster than that.
She just took longer steps, that's all.
Basically. But I mean, as awful as the quote unquote sprint is in this game, at least the set pieces for the most part aren't too large. There's a couple where it was annoying, particularly like level 3 when you're at the crash ship. Like that one's pretty wide, and there's a couple times where you're going down a path. Oh, I got to go back to the camp. I think I missed like a clue. I need to go there. There were some moments.
When it really annoyed me. When for instance, you need like 4 totems, pictures of totems, and you missed one, and you're like going around trying to figure out which one you actually missed. Ugh.
That was a little frustrating.
So actually, these puzzles could all be solved, I suppose, right, without looking up like looking at it and finding any of the notes, right? Like if
Yes.
you just knew the pattern you needed to, yeah, you didn't have to go find those totems. Or if you found three of the four, then it was like, all right, well, I can kind of just piece together the other one with kind of what's missing.
As I beat the game, and yeah, there's a couple I didn't have, and so I didn't get the achievement because there's an achievement to find all the puzzle clues. So I was going around trying to find the last puzzle clues, but I was able to solve the puzzles just fine.
Yeah, there was only one that really gave me any real struggle, and it was the one you were talking about. It was the crash ship, and it was more like it ended up being such a simple solve, and I swear I was like I swear I had tried the solve of it multiple times and I couldn't figure it out, and I was getting so frustrated, and I had just slowly meandered throughout the level back and forth about 100 times, and I said, screw it, I'm looking this up, and it's gonna be so stupid easy. And I saw it and I went, that is really stupid easy. And then I went on, and that was the only time.
Oh.
So I did use one lookup. I will admit, I'm
Oh.
not perfect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
You
I'll.
told me you didn't, you
No, I.
liar.
That's not true at all. I absolutely told you I looked that one up. You just weren't paying attention because
Yeah, that's probably possible.
because that's what you do. But yeah, there
Wait,
was.
what'd you say?
I said because that's just what you do.
I'm joking, Keith.
Oh gosh, gosh, it smells
Yeah,
like
I
up dog
just
in here.
What's up, dog?
Not much. What about you? Hey.
Liz, did you have to? How much of a walkthrough did you use?
quite a bit. I get impatient. Like there are some times where it's like even if I know like how to do it, like I just don't feel like figuring it out. I'm like, oh, so I need to match these, but it's like, oh, I'll just watch him do it so I don't actually have to, you know. And then, like I said, I noticed. Well, so one of the reasons why I've really focused on watching a walkthrough when I was doing this is because I was watching a walkthrough, and there are a lot of not even just missable achievements, but ones that like I hate this type of achievement where like you figure something out and there's no reason to go back, but if you go back, there's like a logo or something, and you get an achievement for seeing the logo. But like I said, there's no reason to go back. And so like, I saw one of those and I was like, oh, so if I don't watch the walkthrough, I'm definitely not going to get a ton of achievements.
So I'm just wondering how much further into this episode that we're going to get before Liz says this game would have been better as a movie. That's my real question. Because I feel like that's every puzzle game for you, Liz, and I mean that with all of the love and all of the
But you
niceness.
know what? Like I would realize I do say that a lot, so I wasn't going to say it this episode, but I feel like it should have been a movie.
But seriously, this should have been a movie. Yeah, I mean, you basically watched it as a movie, but you also played it, and like I get looking up a couple things, and I was probably gonna go back and look up stuff as far as like getting the final collectibles now that I beat it, because now I don't mind as much looking something up, and I'll take some of the fun away of finding where they hid a small little figurine in the middle of a bush somewhere. Like that doesn't hurt me. But as far as the puzzles, I agree with Andrew. Like they were just hard enough that you had to pause and think about them. Solving them felt good, and so taking that out of the game, I mean, why even bother playing it?
Yeah.
And
Well, I didn't do it for all of them.
all
I
right,
just did it like I just did it sometimes. Like I actually did figure a lot of them out myself. I'm not like watching a walkthrough, like doing the whole game that way.
all right, fair enough. I thought you were saying you basically kind of watched the whole thing on walkthrough and just kind of did it.
No, I just started like going back to what I had already played and seeing like what I had missed. Because there are some, like for instance, like a kind of like a dream state that you're in, and there's something that you can pick up and get an achievement, but I didn't pick things up in the order that he did, and so it took me out of it before I could look at everything. So I was like, oh well, I missed that one.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, I also think that yeah, the puzzles were simple enough that they were nice, and they felt, or they didn't take up all your whole time, so you could ultimately get through this game in like 5.5 hours. So it's like a really just nice weekend playthrough, palate cleanser type of game, as we like to say.
Yeah. No, definitely. Uh, Overall, the time to beat currently is like 6 hours. I think I did in like 5. Might have been close to 6. But it's not. Yeah, it's not a very long game. But I will say, Liz, I at least do agree with you. I don't think this game would be bad as a movie because I think the story was good enough that it it could be a movie as well. But No, I'm totally with you, Keith. Like, then it's like, why play it? I think the puzzles were a lot of fun. They were clever. They were very different. Like I said, I enjoyed every set piece because, you know, they always kind of told their own story, but still worked on the overall story. And yeah, I felt good solving these puzzles.
But I agree with you guys, but I also kind of think like you're going around and you're collecting all these bits of the story, which is really exciting when you find something, you find out, oh, this happened to this person, or there's a photograph and you're seeing people slowly going mad. And so like I didn't really care if there were puzzles. I mean, they were fun, but like I don't know.
Well, so funny thing is when you were talking about the voice acting, Liz, I jumped over onto IMDb and I was looking it up, and apparently there was a 1930 movie called Call of the Sea. Uh,
I saw that.
The plot, actually not far off. Lieutenant Commander Good is a naval officer who goes on an extensive search for his long-lost friend who mysteriously disappeared on a tropical island. So he's just looking for a friend instead of a cure, but, you know, just going off on a
I
trip
thought it was
to an
weird
island.
that it came out at that time and this is based in the 30s. So when I looked that up, I thought that was interesting.
I don't know. I was curious if there might be, maybe there's some inspiration there. But what I really liked about the puzzles myself was that they weren't like you mentioned the Talos principle, and it was really just a lot of like, all right, here's this new mechanic, and you got to figure out when to use that mechanic, and then you just have so many of them that it gets a little bit overwhelming. You're just like, ugh, I don't know what to do. Whereas this, there was no special mechanic. Just every puzzle had its own unique little play on things and how you had to do it. Some of them were fairly similar in terms of, turn a knob or pull a lever here and do it in this order, but all in all, they felt interesting enough, and there was just small little things about them that you're like, oh, I like how you did that, and it's just I don't know, it was really cool.
So, Keith, do you want to hear my game theory?
Purgatory,
Nope, not Purgatory.
dang it.
But my theory is that this game takes place in the same universe as Sea of Thieves. Now, don't get me wrong. I know this game obviously takes like a little bit farther in the future of Sea of Thieves. Possibly. You don't really know when Sea of Thieves takes place because they're stuck in their own little area that only specific
Okay.
ships can get to.
But do you turn into anything in the Sea of Thieves?
Um,
Is that giving too much away?
well, no, because it's in the trailer. So this
Oh.
game does show that it kind of has mermaids in it. And so I feel like this game is explaining how the mermaids come to be in Sea of Thieves.
I thought they were just fish
because-
people.
Isn't
Well,
that what
they're
mermaids are?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is what mermaids are. You literally just described right.
There's slavery with mermaids?
But also too, the key symbol that they constantly have around on the island looks very similar to the key for the gold hoarders in Sea of Thieves.
I agree.
So I think this game is explaining how the mermaids come to be in Sea of Thieves.
But is there anything in the Sea of Thieves lore about slavery within the mermaid people? Because there
yes.
wasn't this.
Yes.
Okay.
When you go around the islands and the cave paintings, the ancient people used to worship like deities. There was like a giant crab or the Kraken mother. There was like an old ancient people, or they even worshipped the megalodon. And yeah, they were essentially having to sacrifice themselves for it. So yeah.
So I don't think that like the game intentionally did that. I think it's a pretty cool fan fiction, and I like the tie-in. I like what you did with it.
Thank you.
But I don't think that that's actually what it is because I'm pretty sure they'd probably get in trouble for some sort of copyright infringement or something. I don't know. But also,
Yeah.
Liz, have you ever seen The Little Mermaid? I'm pretty sure King Triton has slaves all over the place. So,
That is
I
true.
watched it when I was super little. I haven't watched it like as an adult or
and
anything.
I think you should go back and give it a look. See, you'll find out that there is much slavery happening in the Mermaid Kingdom.
I feel like whenever there's stories about like mystical creatures or aliens, I just assume that they're more civilized and advanced than humans. So I'm like, oh, there's slavery with mermaids?
Then you realize everything and everyone sucks.
It wasn't even like slavery either. It was like straight up torture and sacrifice.
Yeah.
So that's real pleasant. Those mer people.
Well, that's why, like, if she became one, then would she end up being, like, I mean, is she part of, like, a royalty line, or would she be one of, like, the people?
Oh,
I don't
Doing all
know.
the labor.
Some of that confused me a little. I will say too, like, I guess we should give people a heads up too. Yeah, overall, the story in Call of the Sea is overall pretty dark, and it's kind of surprising too for how bright and colorful overall this game is. Some of the elements it talks about are pretty heavy.
Especially because, like, when she's walking around and talking and she's referring to her husband or reading the letter, she's very, like, lovey-dovey towards him.
Yeah.
It's actually really cute. But it's weird that when you have, like, she's so, like, positive about, like, oh, I might be getting this cure and everything. But, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a really dark story.
Yeah, I mean, you're finding out about, you know, really an unknown amount of time of torture and sacrifice and weird dark or black magic or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's a weird thing, but it's interesting. I didn't overall hate it. I think more than anything though, I really like the puzzles.
Yeah. I did enjoy the puzzles, but I think what really complemented the puzzles, as I was kind of saying before, are the set pieces. There's, like I said, there's 6 chapters. Each chapter, I think, is very unique. You're going through different locales, the beach. You're going through like a stormy cove, caves, underground like coral reefs. I loved the graphics. I thought the color palette was incredibly nice to see. If you have a good TV with like some nice HDR, this is a really gorgeous game to have.
So I agree that the artistry, I mean, it was really beautiful. I think they did a fantastic job with the characters, the environments. But anytime you saw something close up, it was bad. Like if you're looking at the ladders, if you like, there's so many different things that you look at close up, and none of it was good. So I think it's a beautiful game, but there's not much in the details.
I wouldn't say bad.
That ladder was bad.
Just the ladder.
Just hated
Those
that
ladders.
No,
one
that's like-
ladder.
There is just like
F that ladder.
But like, I mean, it just whenever like you're looking at something close, like if you're climbing up a ladder and you're just like the detail isn't in the hands like it should, in the ladder like it should. So for me, it's like, why get that close up if it's not gonna look good?
Oh,
And I do think like the murals and stuff. I mean, I think everything looks so great. It's just those key moments when they zoom in that you're just like, ooh, maybe you shouldn't have done that.
man, I know we already complained about this, and it's such a small aspect, but for as slow as you walk in this game, holy moly, the climbing speed in this game is atrocious.
Yeah, but luckily there's not a lot of climbing.
I
I
know.
feel like there's like 3 ladders.
There was one of them though that I ran back and forth on that crash ship, and I went up and down it at
Yeah.
least 4 or 5 times, and I was just like, no.
Ladder.
I forgot to hit a switch for the tower, the one that's right down in the tent,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't turn on. And I was like, oh, I gotta go back down both ladders.
I guess I just quit now.
Yeah.
I guess I'm done. Yeah, the climbing ladders did kind of frustrate me. I never noticed him being that bad. I mean, yeah, it wasn't a AAA studio, amazing graphics, but it didn't bother me.
I don't want to sound negative because, like I said,
Well, you do.
I really liked the
Well, you
graphics.
And I didn't even really mind the graphics of it. I do agree that with Liz in the aspect of it's from 100 feet, the game's beautiful. Up close, things are a bit grainy, they're a bit blurry. But again, they're a very small studio. I'm not trying to like nitpick every single aspect of the design of the game. But yeah, overall, I think it was nice. And yeah, everything was different enough. It threw you into some weird environments, like you said, like there's like that desert scene you walk through, that dream sequence. Like there's just cool different segments to the game, I guess, and it all felt very unique, but it never felt too much. It was nice.
I also like that the cutscenes in the photographs. I like what they did with the characters. Like nothing was too samey, even when you're looking at the people in these like different mediums.
Yeah. I think what complements so well, like all these set pieces too, is of course the music. The sound effects are just, they do such a great job. It actually feels like such a nice tropical island. As you're walking through it, you're hearing birds, you're hearing waves crashing, you're hearing the rustling of palm trees, just everything of it. It's kind of a relaxing environment to play, and I think that's what really also helps this game a lot. It's difficult as some of the puzzles can be. This game is relaxing. It's, if you put on some headphones, just listen to it. It's a walk on the beach.
I really like that it really changed the mood. Like whenever like something like dramatic was happening, like you felt it. I thought they did a really good job with that.
Or like when you're coming up to like a grisly scene, like the music really kind of picks in and like kicks in. Oh yeah.
I will say though that I felt like I think it was the 3rd chapter when you're on the boat, but it really got loud. Like it was like a storm was going on, and it kind of annoyed me after a while. Just like hearing like the crashes and
Oh,
stuff.
the lightning.
Yeah, I think maybe I was just hangry or something. I don't know. That's the only
Very
time
possible.
that I was like, oh, I'm not really feeling this. So I'll give it an okay with that. But I really liked the way they set the mood. I think they did a great job.
Yeah, what I like about it too, even or what I thought was a nice touch is, a lot of games they do a good job with, maybe some of like the background noise of like birds or wind or something like. All right, that's kind of an easy one that everyone seems to get to a certain degree. But I like that there was even aspects on the crash ship where you would hear like the a hook or some like metal piece dangling from the broken ship and like hitting into things or the chains kind of jangling as the wind blew. So like everything felt accounted for.
Yeah. And the end credits, of course. Keith, you must have been happy there was no butt rock song. This game didn't just throw in some some butt rock at the end credits.
No, they
Instead,
didn't.
it had like a nice duet that for the end credits. And I really liked it.
I did too. That was really cute.
Yeah, it was a duet of the husband and the wife, and I thought that was really really nice.
It was the butt rock of the 30s, but I did like it.
But man, this actually might be the first time we actually do a quick easy episode.
Because we already had achievements.
Yeah, I know.
And I want to say, though, with the achievements,
Uh,
there are actually quite a few bugs with the achievements. And this is
Yeah.
something that has been discussed online. It's not just Liz and her bugs. But there's, for instance, there's one where you have to do something multiple times, but it doesn't work. And so you have to keep mashing the button over and over and over again until it works. There's a couple things like that. I think there was 2 that I came across that has been discussed online.
What was that
But
one?
I mean,
Like,
the one that I can remember was when you're at the microphone, and so she ends up singing. You have to hit it the first time, and then the second time she sings or something like that. But mine wouldn't work. It wouldn't register that she was like trying to sing or whatever. So you just have to keep like hitting it over and over and over and over again, and then eventually it'll work.
interesting. I must have just not got that one then.
See, I know you were complaining about them earlier, Liz, but I like that the achievements, they have like hidden things. Granted, in the end of the day, you're probably going to end up just looking up a walkthrough for them, but I think it adds just kind of like another extra layer of kind of like a Where's Waldo? Like, hey, can you find this hidden object? Like every level has like this hidden object that kind of adds more to the lore of the world. So it's like random cargo you find or someone's hat or something like that. And I like it. It was like a nice little feature. It didn't add to the story, but it was like a little I Spy.
But like I said earlier, I do like those, but there are some that are, it's not a natural progression. You have to go back even though you don't need to see a logo, things like that. So there are ones that like I would definitely have to look up because I would never think, oh, I need to go back and see that a logo appeared. But my favorite part of the achievements for this game is that Liz the Noob came in #1
Did you
this
really?
week.
Holy
did.
dangs.
Well, hold
And
on,
I
before
also
get
saw
into
you
it-
go back and going to other chapters to get more.
Yeah, that was another thing I wanted to mention real quick. Even though Liz said, yeah, some of the achievements are missable, this game does have chapter select. So it's fantastic. If you end up missing something, you can go back to a different chapter. And it actually still keeps all your notes, too. So you don't have to, like, recollect things or anything like that. It actually makes it really easy just to go back and get the achievements.
I would like to say, so probably like an hour before we were supposed to record, I saw you playing a different game. And I just looked up the achievements, and I really wanted to say that I had gotten the most.
But you didn't
And
wanna
then I
say-
was like, no, he's going to go back. I got
whatever.
65 gamer score, 26 achievements. Andrew was 705, and Keith was 605.
So you just barely beat me.
Just barely. What do you mean? That's 60 points. I got 3 more achievements than you.
How many of those were earned by looking them up?
Yeah, that is true.
I mean,
didn't do a lot
I-
there.
What's the difference between that and going back through chapters? Like, I didn't have to do that. Like, I'm sorry that I paid attention. You guys always, no, the last couple episodes, you just, like,
Okay,
Liz, you're wrong,
no.
Liz, you're wrong. And now
we'll
you're
give
saying
you.
I don't deserve my high achievement score? I'm sorry I did the research.
I'm sorry, dear. You did a fantastic
You guys are
job.
poor losers.
Fantastic
If
job.
if you
Keep
had
up for
let
this.
me finish, I was gonna say that I was kidding in the fact that I had already said I was gonna use walkthroughs to go back and collect achievements.
You guys got me salty.
But
Did we or did the sea get you salty?
Oh, such a dork.
worst, the absolute
I
worst.
hate that I like that.
I
Yeah, so
oh yeah,
I
there
do highly recommend this game for achievement hunters.
I do like I'm jumping in on this one though that there is one that just says that it's called You Looked That Up in a Guide because you actually play a tune on a little piano that you don't even hear until the next chapter. So it's they kind of poke fun at
I
that
got
of
that one.
oh I mean I got that one I looked it up because I was like what the heck do I supposed am I supposed to do with this thing? Um, so yeah,
That's actually pretty cool.
I thought that was pretty funny. And at the time that like the video I saw someone do it on, actually, it was like a 2% gamer score. Like yeah, like just a small handful of people had either figured it out or even looked it up, I guess. So kind of interesting. I think they all kind of have at least interesting names. That one was the one that made me laugh though.
I do want to say there was one walkthrough that I was watching, and there was an achievement for you have to like do a certain sequence or whatever, and go to a different area, and you get the achievement. You pick something up and get it. And I was following along with him, and I couldn't do it right, and I ended up not getting it because I was like I tried to follow it and it was wrong, and then because these pieces are moving, and I ended up getting frustrated, and I couldn't figure. I could get to the actual like where I need to go. But this achievement, like I messed it up real bad. And so like I knew that there was an achievement over there which I wouldn't have known unless I looked at the walkthrough.
Is
And
it
I still couldn't do it.
is it one of those ones where you have to like rotate the stones around?
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones they weren't too bad, but I know what you're talking about. I could there was parts of that where I was just like, I'm sure there's something more I'm supposed to find here, but I'm just gonna keep
Wait,
going.
the one on the final chapter?
I think so.
Huh.
Which one's that?
I did that without a guide.
Yeah, I did
The one
too.
where
I'm
it's like
just
paths you're raising to create a path by hitting a statue.
Oh yeah, you got the achievement there?
Yeah.
I think I might have gotten the
I
achievement.
will.
What was
Hey,
the
hey,
achievement
don't
for
take it
that?
away from me. I gave you the pat on the back. For
You
beating me.
reluctantly gave me the
Oh,
pat on the
whatever.
back. So I'm gonna reluctantly give you one.
What was the one on that? Because I thought I got it.
You're getting a photo, and it's finding the secret item in the 6th chapter.
I don't know. I thought I got that one. Sunken. Oh, that's on chapter 5. I don't know. I think I got it, but maybe I didn't. Yeah, completed chapter 6. Never mind.
Yeah, completed chapter 6 now.
Yeah, I guess I didn't get it. Oh well.
Yes.
Anywho's.
So, getting into our final thoughts, Liz, I'm gonna have you start.
No, I don't want to go because I always have trouble figuring out a score for puzzle games because they're not my favorite. And so I want to hear what you guys have to say first.
But I feel like you end up changing your.
I wanted. Do you know what? I cheated with the walkthrough. I want to cheat this time too.
Whatever.
Thanks.
You just love to cheat, apparently.
You guys can take that one offline.
All right, fine. Then I guess I'll go first. So, Call of the Sea for me, I love it. It was a very simple puzzle game. It was really quick. It was just like a nice, fun afternoon game. The puzzles to me, I enjoy puzzles, and for me they were just difficult enough, but nothing that got me frustrated. And I had to look up a guide, and I didn't want to play it anymore. The story was very compelling. I wanted to keep going because I really wanted to figure out what happened to the crew and what's going on with my character. The environments, like I said, are gorgeous. I thought the sound effects was really relaxing. I recommend playing this with headphones. So, yeah, I highly recommend playing this for Game Pass. I think I'm going to give it an 85. I just wish you ran a little bit faster. That would be a really nice... that's something they could easily fix.
Or at least if it during chapter select, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, and not even in a bad way. I feel like love is such a strong word for this game, and I've really enjoyed it though. I think my time spent was well spent with it. I didn't feel like it was too long. It didn't feel like it needed to be longer. Like it was just good enough. Everything about it. I mean, I didn't run into any bugs. The achievements are good on it. I think it's just an overall. I'd give it a good 80.
I'm gonna stick with my original score. I wasn't sure if you guys were gonna
So
sway
you could have
me.
gone first. You liar. You had a score ready and everything.
I wasn't sure though. I
No,
wasn't
whatever.
sure.
Oh, so
do
you
you know
wanted
what
us
it
to
is?
change your mind?
I know. Because I really did enjoy the story. I wasn't sure if 83 was too low, and because I you know me, if I like a game, but it just not enough. I always feel bad giving a lower score. So I'm gonna give it an 83. I wanted more with the story. I really wanted more of like the side characters. As Keith said earlier, like I just wanted it to be a movie. And then looking at Metacritic, I thought it was really interesting. So Xbox One 81 and 7.5, Xbox Series X 75 and 7.3.
That's weird that it was lower.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there's three that I want to go over real quick today. Number one, which I disagree with, but they gave it a 90. Call of the Sea is proof that Lovecraft doesn't have to mean darkness and tentacles. This is a positive, sometimes even cheerful adventure, and it's only the undertones which are ominous, and that works surprisingly well. I thought it was very dark, and the ending did not make me happy. I did not think it was a cheerful adventure. And then someone who had like a really funny, immature name, which I liked, but still, it was they gave it a 1. I would want to say it, but they probably want their privacy. I played this game all the way through, and let me tell you, never did the sea call me out. I'm very disappointed, and will be calling Microsoft for a refund. And then
He was really expecting a phone call, and he was just it's like,
Yeah.
this name's misleading.
And then last, our fourth and silent co-host.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
It's an indie game, so you know we gave it a 0. You know the indie turns he likes to refer them as. So
Why does he play them?
why did he get the new Xbox?
This
It was
such
for
a burning question for
the
me.
new one. Yeah, he got a new Xbox, and he hates the games. He did point out that most people do walkthroughs with this type of puzzle game, and I am guilty. He did think that there was originality in the first-person view, but he was unimpressed with the graphics. And then a little quote for the end: "The trash is calling you, the indie turd, and if it and if it isn't the trash, the toilets are waiting impatiently for you."
What?
Dang.
This guy loves his toilet humor.
No, he does, and I love it. There's toilet humor in like the name that I didn't say, and that's why I was like, you know.
This person
Thought it was
is my
funny.
favorite person out there.
Yeah, he loves his toilet humor.
But how? Like, I don't know how you could give this game a 0. I thought it was really nice.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you're as cold and miserable of a human being as this person is, then I guess I get giving it a 0.
Maybe
Even if you
he
don't love
plays
it.
games in the winter. Maybe if you're like cold and miserable. Maybe he's playing in the winter because we know that he lives in a snowy area.
Well, yeah, we know he's from Canada, so I mean, they're always cold up there.
Well, I mean, again, I'm pretty sure we've established they're from Quebec, so I mean, they're just cold, miserable people. It's just how it happens.
But anyway, we're gonna do our plugs, or at least I am, because Keith doesn't do any, and then we'll talk a little bit about the ending after that. So I've been your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952. We also have a Facebook, Game Pass Grab Bag, where we have a PayPal set up if you feel so inclined to support us. If you have any game suggestions, we would love to hear them. You can email us at gamepassgrabbag@gmail.com or message us on Facebook or our Twitter, GBGBpod. And that's it.
Well, you know what, Andrew? I'm gonna prove you wrong this week. I've been Keith.
Ooh.
I do have something this week to plug, and that would be plugging in my phone because the battery's low.
That was dumb.
Yes,
That
it was. Liz, you take it away.
Edit that out.
I like that you were also playing with your keyboard. So at the beginning of that, so it's just like do 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 do, and then you said it. I think it went really well. And I'm Liz the Noob, gamertag. Come on, I'm
encourage him.
Dean, and I'm on Twitter at Liz the Noob. Noob is EW.
All right, everyone. If you don't want to hear the ending or us talk about it,
Get out of
you can
here.
sign off now. But getting into spoilers now. So the ending, as Liz said, there are 2 choices. And by the time you finally get to the end, you find out, the last person part of your husband's crew is actually a traitor, and she wants the power of the island, or tried to become a mermaid. I don't know. I was a little confused.
Because you don't know if she's manipulated by it, because it does make you mad, like makes you crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes you like homicidal. So he finds out that he will die if he tries to transform like you can.
Yeah.
And
Only
so-
select people can become mermaids.
One thing that bothered me is that he originally tried to make the choice for her
Yeah.
by pretending to be dead.
Typical man.
It was the 30s. But
Dying,
also, yeah,
making
because it's
choices
like,
for
why do
women.
you, like, what if she didn't want that at all? And then she's like, oh, I guess he doesn't want me. Like that.
But Nora is too smart and figured out the ruse. I mean, don't get me wrong. What, are you mad that the husband did that?
No, I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying, like, it could be interpreted different ways. Like, she might have thought, like, oh, he's pretending to be dead because he doesn't want to deal with my illness.
See, I don't know. Because to me, it's very much When you love something, you got to let it go.
No, I hate that stupid story in like so many different things. Like, no, 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 no. But I think that was like 3 no's too many, and it was annoying. But I'm sorry.
No, one more no, and you would have been way over the line, Liz. But that was good, just enough.
I would have to actually edit and beep them
So
out.
the 2 options that you have, one, you can just be with your sea people and
Your sea men,
yes,
your sea women.
yes, or you can go back to your husband and have an early death. Either way, he's alone and he's gonna miss you, and it sucks for him.
See, that was my thought process. That was why I took that option. It was like, yeah, you guys can have a couple more years to be together, and that's great. But ultimately, he knew one of you had to sacrifice. It was either he sacrificed by living the rest of his life without you and missing out on a few more years together, or you sacrificed, which was effectively, I think, eternal life living as a sea people. Um, so he kind of, yeah, he. I know, Liz, you hate the cliche of the live it, let it go type of thing, but I, it was that, but it wasn't. I think it was more just, I think it was a little bit of him trying to do what he thought was best for her, but I think it was even what he thought was best for himself too, is like just kind of letting her go be who she was supposed to be. She lived a life of pain. She watched her mother die of this illness, and it sounded like her mother, or, her grandmother also, like it was like this hereditary thing that was passed down. And I think he just saw it as like ending the cycle. So he just decided that was what should happen. But like you
Well, they just couldn't have kids. I mean, for me, like I just thought it was because like
Well, they could have kids.
but if you like the whole story, like the way that they talk to each other, because he's writing to her along the way too, the way that they talk to each other, they're very much in love. Like, I mean, some would even say maybe soulmates. And so it's like, oh, she's gonna live eternity without the person that she married and fell in love with and wanted to spend the rest of her life with. It's like, why would she want that?
So, what did you guys pick?
So I picked to go to the sea because I don't know, I saw it as you ultimately both suffer if you go back. You suffer through a painful, miserable death. He watches you suffer and die, so he suffers along with you because you guys are so interconnected. And then he then lives the rest of his life without you anyways because you're dead, and his lasting memories are of, I'm sure that they could find a way to make them good memories, but at the same token, those memories are watching someone you love more than anything in this entire world just kind of waste away. Like, I don't know. I thought that wasn't fair to him, and he obviously wanted me to do that, so I thought that that was the best choice.
But I mean,
I went
they
going with my
said,
husband.
yeah, they said that they had like a couple more good years, and it's like, I mean, with that mindset, it's like, I mean, people waste away and die all the time in real life. Like, you find out your significant other like has cancer or something, or an inoperable tumor. Like, are you just gonna be like, I don't want to see you die, so can you just
Go
like
away,
go
yeah.
away? But like, also, I mean, I just. I don't get, like, wouldn't you miss each other anyway? Like, you
Yeah.
either, because I mean, like, you might watch her die, but you still have a couple years with her, and no matter what, you're gonna miss her, and she's gonna miss him. So I don't know. I went with Andrew's pick.
So
Yeah, this is definitely a question of do you want quality or quantity of life? And so for me, as someone who deals with a lot of death with a lot of my patients, I always see this and like some of the choices people make, and I'm like, I'd rather have a few short good years than like a long life of loneliness or something like that.
so here's my question then. So if Andrew had a brain tumor that was going to kill him in 5 years, but you found out there was a way for him to not suffer and die of a brain tumor, you
And be
just
a mermaid.
you'd just be like, all right, hope you die, enjoy it. You
I
wouldn't want
think
to find a way to help him get better?
but it's weird. So when she becomes like the sea person, it's almost like she kind of like loses emotions. Cause I mean, like for me, because I saw a clip of it and I was like, it didn't feel natural to me. And so for me, like if I was in the position of the husband, I would want the other person to do what they wanted. I wouldn't try to sway them or make them think that this was the better option. Or so for me, like that's what kind of like was just like, I don't know. I mean, I also think too, because I think there's an achievement that you can get if you pick your option, Keith.
Yeah, the
but
achievement.
not the other way around. So I wonder if like maybe the developers thought that yours was the correct one.
So
Probably,
I
I
have
mean,
a
I assume so only in the sense of not that it's the correct one, but if games do that sometimes it seems where it's like if you have to make the hard choice, basically, like they'll reward you for making the hard choice, whether or not I don't know if that means they think it's the right one, but yeah, it's sort of how I saw it.
they got an achievement for either one of them.
Oh, do you? All right, well then never mind. I take
Oh, I
No,
that.
thought you
no,
did.
not for it. There's like a collectible or like another achievement you can get if you choose his. Because when I was watching the walkthrough, that's why they picked Keith becoming like a C person because you could get an extra achievement that way.
Yeah, I got an achievement called the only thing I have now, but that just says it's for completing the game. I didn't get anything else.
So my big question though is, why can't you guys just live on the island? Like, as far as I can tell, you guys didn't have any kids. Like, why couldn't you guys just build a house and live on the island? Because you were healthy and fine on the island. Why can't you just stay on the
That's
island?
a really good point, but the island is also kind of it accepted her, but not the other people because they did.
Oh, that's true. It
But
made other people
I
crazy.
mean, they were also
Good point, Liz.
wealthy. So I mean, I feel like I mean, you go from being wealthy to moving
Wealth
to an
can't
island.
buy you love.
Hmm.
That's true, but I'm just saying, like, it would have been a lot harder for wealthy people who, I mean, I don't want this to be offensive, but like,
Well, I'm offended.
okay.
I mean,
I think it'd just be harder, like, losing everything kind of thing. Because nobody wanted to go to that island. You're not going to get people to come there and work full time because they're just going to keep dying off. You have to do everything yourself.
Clearly, you haven't seen Gilligan's Island. You can make a pretty
that's a
sweet
really
living
good
there.
point. It's a really, really good point.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know if we covered this at all. I'm still very confused. What is like is she a special mer people? Is there like is it some ancient curse assigned to her family? Like what about her is different than basically the people who are really just like island dwellers that were being sacrificed? Like she's I don't know how to say this without probably getting myself canceled, but she's clearly not from an island. She is someone who was born and raised in
Very
yeah,
white.
okay. Thank you, Liz. She's very, very white. So she's just not she's not from that island. Like what's her connection? I just didn't get it.
So I almost feel like maybe there was like a mixing of the species and maybe she's half of that or maybe one of her ancestors was cursed and had a kid before she died with the curse. And so the curse just kept going.
Yeah, no, this
I
is where I
think
was a
the
little confused
second
with
thing
this.
that I said might
too.
be more accurate.
Yeah, because it seems like it's already predetermined as to who could become a sea person or who would die. Because you have to go through this whole ritual, and yeah, if you're accepted, you become a sea person. If not, you die. So I was a little confused too as to like what it was. Is this like you see like a sea creature Cthulhu looking type of monster every once in a while, and I don't know if it's something he's like choosing the people, and you get this curse / blessing to become a sea person. But yeah, I didn't quite understand that. And not only that, the other thing I was curious about too, if you become a sea person, are you essentially a slave to that creature? Because there was that sea creature that he was guiding in trying to direct you to become a sea person. But he was like the god or something like that.
That's what I said earlier. But it's like, is she like from a line of royalty or is she going to be, one of the underlings? Like, that's why I was like, you don't really know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah. You know what, Liz? You convinced me. I want this to be a movie to give more lore so I can understand it more.
Yeah, and I want the voice actor to be the main actress. She looks like her, kind of.
That's fair. I
I'm
did
fangirling a bit. I really liked her.
I did notice that yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was after I chose that sequence or not, but she makes a comment about how she's like
That she's under
yeah,
the
but
sea.
she makes a comment along the lines of basically like she's never felt so at home and like at peace and everything. So it felt like I don't know, that was where she was meant to be. She had a call of the sea. She needed to go home.
She's like,
But
I really didn't love that husband.
She also made it sound like she made the right choice with our pick too, though.
Yeah.
So I guess she was happy either way.
I see. That's what I would have liked. I would have liked one of the decisions. It's like, and then a meteor came and destroyed the Earth. Wrong choice. Start over.
Save file deleted.
You even have to reinstall the game. Actually, we're not even going to let you keep the game.
I think that's gonna wrap it up for us. Unless you guys have anything else to say.
tweet us and let us know who you agree with. What ending was
Yeah,
better?
Yeah. Do you actually have love in your life, like me and Liz, or are you a cynical, awful person like Keith?
I am
Please let us
not
know.
cynical. I believe in a thing called love. Just listen to the rhythm of my heart.
I just feel like Keith's pick was just the least romantic thing in the entire world. I'm gonna leave you and go live in the sea.
It was.
With the shrimp and the starfish.
I sat and I pondered over that, and I truly believe in my decision. So I want to hear what people have to say. So yeah, email us, tweet us, Facebook us. I don't know. Send us a carrier pigeon or something. A message in a bottle even.
Ooh. Instant reaction.
But yeah, thank you all so much for the people who have stuck around to listen to us ramble a little bit more about the end.
This was not a quick episode after all.
I know.
We
so
managed
much
to make
that.
it
That's
long.
like it for us. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for sticking around. We love you all. See you again next week.
Bye.
Hi, guys.